stop color. I think this one might be the winner. Alright.
It's actually really frustrating. You know, it's not very often I have to go in and remove aftermarket pieces I install in my vehicles, but unfortunately, the still and cold air induction system is out of the Trail Boss. We had an issue. Now, if you remember back a few weeks ago, we installed the still-in system on my 2020 Trail Boss. This system's built to create efficiencies in the induction of air, which creates horsepower and mile per gallon increases by aiding the induction of cold air directly into the intake versus it fumbling through the stock system. Now, a few weeks after I installed that, I started to hear pretty prominent popping noise out of the front end of my truck. And obviously hearing a popping noise out of the engine bay of your brand new truck is not something to be desired. I thought the issue had to deal with the braking system. The truck's brakes are very electronically controlled and the popping is most prominent when I slowed to a stop, but even at stop, the popping continued. So I ended up thinking through what were the last few modifications I made on the truck. Maybe it was one of those. We installed a Pulsar LT in the truck a few weeks ago. Potentially the Pulsar tune screwed something up. But also, in the reveal of a few of these videos, doing some farm donuts, I hit a pretty big berm with the driver front tire and thinking maybe I screwed something up when I hit the berm. And then lastly, I thought, well, I also installed this still-in air induction system. Maybe this is the issue. So obviously with this sitting right here, what we did, we yanked this thing back out of the truck and there hasn't been one pop since this has been removed. So we tracked it down. This is the issue. What we're covering in today's video is what you need to be aware of if you're running this and also potentially how to fix it. So guys, aloha, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my little piece of paradise I call the Lonestar Hawaiian garage. We have so much to get done today. Yes, we're gonna tackle a still-in intake, get it fixed, get it back in the Trail Boss, but I know you guys are dying to see this thing lifted, and it's coming very, very soon, I promise. On Tuesday, I'm gonna have delivered a brand new tool, which I need to install this lift kit myself. Like everything I do on this channel, I try to do everything with my own two hands here in the garage, and I need one tool to complete that lift myself. Once this truck is lifted, we can finally get this new wheel and tire setup on the new truck. So that's all coming very soon, and today's gonna be in preparation for that video. In addition, we're gonna build us a nice little work table there in that corner and mount a vise, which is gonna help us with that lift kit. We are also going shopping for a new toolbox. Guys, this toolbox, this red Craftsman toolbox, I love to death, means the world to me. My grandfather gave this to me when he passed away a few years back, and I've come to the point, unfortunately, where I've outgrown it. I need more space, and we're gonna be shopping today with what potentially is gonna be filling this space in the very near future. But I want recommendations below in the comments. What toolbox should I be looking at? Where should I get it? And I'm looking about 60 inches in this area. Let me know, comments below, what toolbox I should be looking at. I am stoked to get myself a brand new toolbox. But don't worry, Kapuna's toolbox isn't going anywhere. We're also gonna get an update on the OG Silverado paint job. So the 99 Silverado my dad has, we've had it forever. It was actually my first truck that I drove. He's been working on that thing for months. We're gonna give you guys an update. A few of you have been asking, so we're gonna give you an update on the progress he's made. The paint booth he's made inside of his garage with is comical, but you guys will enjoy it. And also, if you have missed the last few videos on the ZL1, definitely go check those out. Man, this thing has completely transformed over the last month or so. The new wheel and tire setup, the full 1LE conversion, carbon fiber everywhere. Absolutely love that car. Took it on a 2-hour round trip yesterday. Michelin PS4S's is a complete night and day versus the Goodyears. So we got a ton to get done today, guys. It's gonna be a fun one. Let's get the party started.
Love the paint booth.
Makeshift paint booth in your garage. That'll work.
That's some good primer. I'm hoping it's gonna stick.
Well, they're saying that it won't crack because of the Texas heat.
I'm still in love with your paint booth.
One a year. I haven't had a chance to pull that one off.
55 Chevy. Should drop a Texas Speed 427 in here and just go crazy.
After I paint it, I touched it with the daggum hose, sand it down, smooth it out.
That's a good primer.
Not easy, I'm telling you. Lady said, "Oh, it's just like it used to be." Yeah, right.
How come your banana trees are 8 times taller than mine? 20-foot banana trees, and these start from nothing every year. Pretty much 5 months of growth, 20 feet.
It's getting there. I mean, there's only one dent on it that I've got to work out in this.
No, it's coming along. We're almost there. It's all the prep work that takes forever. Painting is the easy part.
After I get this paint, I'm gonna get that dyno mat and do the inside of the truck.
You gonna do Dynamat? My intro for this video, I was in the bed of my truck and I went to hit the top of the truck and it's like, dunk. I'm like, oh yeah, I got Dynamat in there. I can't get over the paint booth. This is awesome. It's like a tent in a tent, and I love the light hanging from the top. So you got ventilation, you got that one pushing into the booth, and this one exiting. So there's the update, guys. 99 coming along. All the prep work, the stuff that takes forever is nearly done. We're about to see some black, and the 55 has not moved either. One day it will move under its own power. Yeah, I think we just take like old stop signs and just weld them onto the floor.
Oh, don't even sand it down, just weld the stop sign on it.
Close the holes, drop a powerful motor, and go. Should we go to Home Depot or Lowe's first?
Think about Target.
So that's one recommendation no one made, was go to Target to get your new toolbox. All right, so while the kids are still at the grandparents for the next little bit, we're gonna hit a couple spots, check out some toolboxes, and then kind of start pricing out what we're looking at size-wise and visually show you how they look.
I need one of these.
Ready? Toolboxes. So we got red huskies over here. This is pretty much the same size as I currently have. So I'm looking to go up from here. That's cool. This is what I'm really looking at. 52 inches. Man, this is massive. Soft close. Wooden. What? It's got a wooden worktop.
Or my classroom.
In your classroom. And then up here, USB, plenty of plugs. It's got an LED light. What? $9.98. I really, really like this, guys. Soft close. I think this one might be the winner. We don't even need to go to Lowe's. I think Lowe's has the Craftsman's.
Husky.
This is the size. This is perfect. Wrap this in carbon fiber.
No. But can we talk about my future desk over there for my classroom?
By the way, that went in.
Still got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody's favorite cameraman is back on the vlog. Shoots! We are obviously back here in the garage. It's time to build our work table. We got a brand new vise picked up from Home Depot. These are cheaper at Harbor Freight, but I didn't have the extra hour of time to get all the way there, so paid the extra 20 bucks. We need a location to mount my new vise, which is the whole purpose of all this lumber here. What we're gonna do is build a work table here in the corner of the garage. Given this is somewhat of a showroom-ish functional garage, I want the space, but I also want the functionality. So what we're gonna do is build a small work table here in the corner, mount the vise to a point where we can actually swivel it out when we wanna use it, and then swivel it back in when we don't need it, but actually not take any additional room from the garage. Now over here in this corner, we have our sprinkler control box, which used to be where that cabinet is, and we relocated back in the early garage build days before any of this existed. We're gonna run some 2x4s here on the edge, and then probably one table leg to hold up the 2x12, and then we're gonna paint it all black, make it look super good. We actually might even wrap the tabletop in carbon fiber just because I'm on a carbon fiber cleanse. Get this thing framed up, figured out, and then get this bad boy mounted on.
With a piece in my hand and blood bloodshot eyes, I walked to the water for a last goodbye. He begged so much, it clouded my mind. One thing's clear, the man's gotta die. Might makes right, so he said, when he held all the keys over our head. I lived in that grip, but now he'll learn at the end with the tables turned. Lord, forgive me. Take me.
What do you guys think so far? We got the basic structure of the table laid out, mounted on the wall, supported there in the front, and the vise is just kind of sitting on the table for now. I think this is where I'm going to mount it, because if I need to do longer pieces, I can simply pivot it this way and have this entire run. I also eventually want to get one of those rotary grinder polishing wheels where I can mount here in the future, and this can be like a little bit of a fab corner. Still got a couple more pieces to put there and across the front. Oh, I have extra carbon fiber vinyl from the ZL1. I'm gonna put it on there because I'm completely insane and I feel like doing it, so we're gonna do it. She is done. She is solid, mounted, ready to go. 2x12x30 table. All that work for this little tiny thing. It's actually all for this. So my bench vise, fully functional as it sits right here. But if I do need more area, more space than this, all I gotta do is loosen this up here and then rotate this. And we're good to use it in that direction. When I'm done, just rotate that back, lock her in, and we're good to go. We'll eventually get one of those rotary cutters here, mount it there. We have our carbon fiber vinyl, totally overkill, totally unnecessary, but it's gonna be super easy to clean, kind of protects it, but also looks pretty dang cool. The stainless pieces here do help it structurally, but it's more or less for aesthetics, just make it look more industrial. But there you go, guys. All of that work for that little thing, which is what we're gonna be needing in the upcoming videos. It's now time to get back to the still and intake. The whole purpose of this video is to fix that thing. I am an honest fan of this. It's just causing some major issues. So it's time to fix that, get it back in the truck. That vise is so cool, guys. I'm so stoked on that thing. That took so long to build a little table, and it's probably because I'm a professional idiot. Regardless, I have a vise. We're back 6 days later. We missed an upload last week. As you guys probably know, this isn't my real job, to be honest. I have a very demanding job throughout the week. 2 days this week. I started around 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning and didn't finish till about 2 a.m. Last night was one of those. So I'm dragging a little bit, trying to fake some enthusiasm, get through this one, but it's time to pop the hood to show you guys what's going on with this still-in system, and might need to make some alterations to this aftermarket part. All right, so if you got a Silverado 1500, primarily the gas-powered trucks, behind that front grille, you have something called active aero shutters. I've heard some of the Duramax vehicles don't have this, but I can't confirm that. This is a gas-powered truck. But if you look closely there, behind this front grille, you see that little flap. Now, what that little flap does is opens and closes based on a reading from the computer to help the aerodynamic efficiency of the front end of the truck. Now, when those close, technically the vehicle is more aerodynamic and it increases your miles per gallon, which, to be honest, everybody's chasing with these new EPA regulations. I think it's kind of comical, given this truck is lifted 2 inches from the factory and they rip off that lower valence to give you better approach angles off-road. So regardless, we have that piece in this truck. And what happened was when I installed the still and intake duct, what I thought was happening is those upper flaps were making contact. What I couldn't figure out is why, during certain points in driving, I was hearing that popping noise. The popping noise I was hearing is something you don't want to hear from your engine bay, especially in a new $50,000 pickup truck that your wife drives with your kids every single day. So I was kind of frantic figuring out what is going on that's causing this. And it turns out it was the still-in system. I pulled the still-in intake out, threw the stock one right back on there, and the popping ceased. What we're gonna do is actually pull the stock one back out of the truck again, get the still-in over here, and figure out where that contact's being made, and we're gonna clearance that thing. But as I mentioned, we're kind of losing light. Got plenty of light in here, but I got something special to show you guys today because we have a phenomenal light we are partnering up with today called O-Light. And trust me, guys, you're gonna wanna see this. But since we are to this point, we need to start looking into the engine bay. And as you can see, we have a lot of lights in the garage. I'm kind of crazy about light. Technically, there's 90,000 lumens of lighting within my garage, or there was. Now, one thing I have learned in my life is you get what you pay for. Looking around the garage here, we have a ton of lighting. Believe it or not, this was all DIY, or actually you probably can't believe it because it's not that well installed. But all of these lights I bought off Amazon, and they were extremely cheap. And as you can see there, we're missing some light. And right there, there's 3 or 4 spots throughout that have already burned out. On top of that, I have quite a few flashlights. I have these Duracell things, have this Philips rechargeable light that obviously doesn't work much. Have these 2 handheld flashlights where the light output is, that's full power. And then one thing I've had to learn over time is if you actually invest in quality materials, they actually last longer and you save money in the long run. So instead of buying another cheap light to go along with my collection of really crappy flashlights, I decided to invest a little bit. So we partnered up with Olight for this video, but I want to show you 2 particular lights I got for myself and I'm completely stoked on. The first one being the Array 2S. It's this amazing headlamp that's extremely small, but the brightest flashlight I have ever looked into, and I'm kind of still hurting a little bit from looking into that. We also got ourselves an Olight Perun 2. This one's really cool. Not only the fact that it has 2,500 lumens out of this really compact flashlight, but it's magnetic. It can stick up under the hood, up under the chassis. And I mentioned these are premium lights. Opening these packages is like opening a brand new iPhone. Like, I am genuinely blown away at the user experience. I've already charged these for the purpose of this video. So here is my Perun 2. I mentioned before, we have the magnetic bottom. So as I'm working underneath my hood, hit that, and there we go. You can stick it and work. I can stick it and work there. But check this out. Are you kidding me? Now for the chargers, all you have to do is simply run this guy over the top. Magnetic, boom, it's charging. Everywhere you need it, magnetic, stick it up. And then this headlamp is the brightest thing next to the sun. So I'll put a link in the description below. These are affiliate links. I have partnered with this company. So technically, if you do purchase off those affiliate links, I make a very small commission. So if you do need yourself a good quality flashlight, I highly recommend Olight. I'm gonna be using these for a long time. Let's figure out what's going on with this still and intake. Well, the most expensive cameraman in the world is back. He's right there. Say hello.
Hello.
Employee of the month, every single month, is my only employee. All right, guys, so the issue we're running into is the top shutter is making contact with these uprights. So the still-in system has like 2 structural uprights, which I think doesn't allow this bottom portion to bend. And where that's positioned, which is pretty silly, I wish they would have positioned it further back to clear the shutters. But when this thing's pinned down, this cannot move. Like you can see, and making contact with that upright. So I think what's happening is it's running through the test, it's trying to move the shutters, which makes the popping noise. I don't know if it's a failed actuator or if it just kind of spins within. What we're gonna do is take this off, make a trim up underneath. Let's get this thing done. All right, as far as the trim goes, we went ahead and trimmed right on the edge there. Pulled that back, probably a good 1/8 of an inch, just to give it a little more clearance. I hope this works. We're gonna call it quits for tonight. So we will see you guys when the daylight's back and we don't need my new flashlights. Well, that was a waste of time. It didn't work. As I was pulling the truck in last night, it made the popping noise again. The exact same thing, wasn't any better, wasn't any worse. So what I'm gonna try to do this morning, zip tie a GoPro on the inside of my grill and then see if I can review the footage. It's to see, one, where it's hitting, but also what direction these shutters pivot in. These will fall off. There it was. It did it. Inherent fun of making YouTube videos. Those shutters open and close early in the driving session as a test. And I do know now which direction it goes. All right. right, so you can see some of those dots I made with the Sharpie. That's where we're gonna make the cut. We're taking off nearly an inch. And also I didn't notice the edge right here kind of makes contact with this top shutter as well. So yeah, we're gonna take a good chunk off this thing. And voila, we took a big chunk out of the front. We got plenty of clearance now. It's gonna work as intended by Still-In. Performance-wise, there's gonna be no difference at all. The one thing I was worried about, if those uprights provided structural integrity, but this stuff is so thick, this is completely solid, no issue at all. So let's get everything buttoned back up. Do one last test with the GoPro here on the front, and time permitting, may go hit up at a few more stores, go shopping for a new toolbox. Guys, we're in the clear. Full articulation, absolutely no popping, no clearance issues, so that's in fact the issue altogether. If you are running this Still-In induction intake system, I had a review on it a few weeks ago if you saw that video. I apologize if you've installed it and been hearing these issues, but if you have, heads up, your active arrow shutters are causing that popping issue, and it's a serious issue because if it gets stuck closed, you're gonna overheat. Not all modifications go according to plan, and this was one of them. All right, this video's gonna be a little bit longer than expected, but it's time actually I'm overdue for an oil change, and I'm gonna do it myself because I don't trust dealerships to do it for me. Because last time we did an oil change, they did not tighten my oil filter, and I lost about 1.5 quarts of oil in a day. And luckily I did see it, so yeah, we're done doing dealership oil changes. And we are getting rid of the AC Delco and going with Mobile One. We have advanced full synthetic 0W20. This is technically Dexos approved. That's what GM requires for their warranty, is for your oil to be Dexos approved. And I get it, AC Delco, yes, that's what GM recommends, what GM uses from the factory. But GM is a big Fortune 50 company, and I understand how Fortune 50 companies work. I've been working for one for nearly a decade now. So there is quality, but there's also cost and savings and deals and contracts. So we're going back with the name brand because I trust it. And we're also gonna be running a K&N oil filter along with it, mostly because they didn't have the Mobile One available. But Motor Trend just conducted a test on oil filters, and K&N was actually the best one, surprising enough. Guess who's making a reappearance today? Oh yeah, you know it. Oh, that way. Boom, baby. She's fixed! Guys, I'm really happy we figured that out. The popping noise is not something I want to hear out of the engine bay, out of my brand new truck, especially because of the modifications that are coming up very, very soon. You guys are dying to see the new wheel and tire setup. I have given you a sneak peek in my last few videos, if you actually stick around towards the end. Essentially what those are 35 by 12.5 Nitto ridge grapplers wrapped around an amazing, amazing wheel with some decent offset that's going on the Trail Boss. But obviously being this size, it will absolutely not fit on this truck as it sits today, which means she's going up. Waiting on one tool that is late by 6 days now. I'm still trying to track it down. All right, actually editing this week's video, and we have a white van pulling up. Please be for me, please be for me. I need that part. You are the man. Woohoo! 6 days late's better than ever. Once that tool arrives, we can get this truck in here, in the air, rip out that front suspension, and start working on the lift. But regardless, we got that dealt with. The truck is running primo now. Oil change is complete. We were a little bit over. Got our new K&N oil filter sitting there real nice. Our new Mobile One, advanced full synthetic. And then obviously my vise. So I'm excited to finally have my own. This little tiny table took forever to build, but it's solid. And we're gonna be hammering some stuff out on it very soon. As far as the toolbox, Lowe's was a complete bust. Those Craftsman toolboxes look like total crap. They felt like total crap, and the build quality looks horrible. So we're passing on Lowe's. We're probably gonna go with Home Depot's Husky brand. It's gonna fill that entire space. We're gonna have so much room for more activities. And by activities, I mean tools. When I mean tools, I mean investments. When I say investments, I mean tax write-offs. What? But thank you guys again for joining me today. If you have not subscribed to the channel just yet, scroll down, hit the subscribe button below, hit that notification bell. It's absolutely free. All it really does is when I post a new video, it gives you visibility to it that it's live when you log into YouTube. If you don't, then a lot of the times you miss out on the new uploads. So join the family below. If you enjoyed this one, if you're excited for the Trail Boss content, be sure to smash the like button below. It helps me out, helps the channel out, helps us continue to grow. If you guys want to have that ongoing conversation with me, Lonestar Hawaiian on Instagram, jump on over there. But if not, go ahead and leave in comments below. Let me know what you guys want to see outside of the new lift and wheels and tires for this truck. All the aesthetic, the minor things, the little things are all done now. It's really, the sky's the limit with what we want to and can do with this truck. But thank you for joining me in this fun ride of fixing I've worked on before, but we're doing it again, getting ready for the lift. We'll catch y'all in a few days for our next video. Until that day comes, as always, y'all take care. So we hope. Aloha.
Go.
Speed and power.